Hey guys, we're Easy Japan. Welcome back. Today we are tackling a massive debate hitting Japan right now. Should tourists pay more than locals for the exact same bowl of ramen? Let's react to the news. Let's go.
Let's go.
ルーブル美術館の入館料は2年前に5ユーロ上がったばかりですが、今日からヨーロッパ以外の観光客はさらに10ユーロ、およそ1850円の値上がりとなります。
What?
As of January 14th, the Louvre Museum raised the admission price for individual tourists from outside the European Economic Area, which includes EU member states and countries like Norway, by 45%. The admission fee is now 32 euros, or about 5,900 yen. The increased revenue will help fund a major project called the New Renaissance, aimed at renovating the aging museum.
Why should I pay different price about it? I don't know about. I think it's unfair.
観光地なんでそれも仕方ないことなんじゃないですかね。ヨーロッパの人が入りづらくなってもダメですし、足元見られてるっちゃ見られてますけど。
He's so kind.
Differentiated pricing at tourist destinations is expanding globally. What about Japan, where many foreign tourists visit? Some related issues have come to light. This tourist spot opened in February 2024 and was still attracting crowds a month later. What attracts the ever-growing number of foreign tourists to this place is this luxurious seafood bowl with fresh ingredients.
Inbound dawn.
A tourist scoops up sea urchin and takes a big bite. Japanese cuisine draws people from around the world. With the historic weak yen, tourists are spending generously.
Yeah.
And we are here for the food, all the food.
Yeah.
It's quite new place.
So I live in London, which is very expensive. I think the food here is quite reasonable. So you can do very cheap.
It's cheap.
Tourists seem willing to spare no expense for good food.
I didn't know the Louvre Museum has become so expensive.
I also didn't know that the locals also have to pay 22 euros. So it's the basics is really high.
Yeah, comparing it to Japan especially. It's only like 1,000 yen, like, I don't know, $6 or $7.
You can eat 4 bowls of ramen with 22 euros in Japan.
Well, I would prefer the museum than the 4 bowls of ramen.
Yeah, but if we're in Japan, Tokyo, you wouldn't go to that expensive museum, right?
Yeah, like maybe only once in my lifetime.
Once in my lifetime, yeah. How do you feel about the major global tourist spots like the Louvre charging international visitors more? Do you think it's fair or unfair?
Well, I think it's fair. Like, have you ever been there?
Not yet.
I went there a few years ago, so it might have changed, but I remember having all the booklets in a lot of languages and all the explanations in a lot of languages. So I understand how the museum has to pay a certain cost to do that, like as an additional service. And also they need to have more people that can speak many languages to support the people coming from other countries. So yeah, I do understand the part where we have to pay more, but on the other hand, deciding that by where they come from, this is a different problem. And I don't think this is fair because, for example, like people from Japan, they might go to the museum, but if they can speak French, then there's no reason they have to pay more money because they can read all the French. And especially if they're Japanese and living in France, then they know the culture, they know how to act polite in a French place. So there's no reason for them to pay more. So like talking about the price, I think it's fair, but talking about who pays that price, it's not fair. Just by the nationality.
Yeah. So you shouldn't charge people by their nationalities, but charge them for the service.
I understand. Yeah, it's difficult to see like their background, if they can speak a certain language or if they know that country's culture. So, well, in a way, I can understand how they decided by their nationality. Because if they have like more communication, if they have a process to know that person's background, in the end, that they will need more cost to do that. So the price will become expensive. It's like a bad loop.
Yeah, that seems fair.
It sounds like a steal for travelers, I understand that, but wait until how you hear locals are reacting to the idea of a $35 ramen bowl.
35? It's even expensive than the museum.
With flambéed lobster for an astonishing 5,500 yen.
Okay.
5,500 yen? This one.
I'm never gonna eat this.
Despite the high price, it is popular among foreign tourists. What about Japanese tourists?
ラーメンに5000円出せますか？
出せないです。
日本だったらちょっと出せないかなって。
お金ないんで。
We asked a shop staff.
まず働いている私たちが築地ではご飯が食べられない価格になってきたので。
Japanese people are finding it increasingly difficult to afford these soaring prices. This is why dual pricing is being discussed, but there are issues. We spoke with aviation and travel analyst Toriyumi Kotaro.
地元の方、そして観光客と別々の価格にするということを二重価格という、そういった言い方をします。
Dual pricing? For example, the same ramen could cost 1,000 yen for residents of Japan and 3,000 yen for foreign tourists. Similar systems familiar to Japan include student discounts and senior discounts, offering lower prices to students and older people. Toriyumi notes that dual pricing could become more common at tourist destinations. He gave the following reasons.
日本と揃ったっていうふうに旅行や観光、そしてレストラン、食堂等で働いている方の賃金が増える。これが一番大きなメリットになってくると思います。もう一つの側面としましては、オーバーツーリズム対策という側面もあります。
Toriyumi says dual pricing is already used in places like golf courses in Hawaii and temples and shrines in Thailand.
That's one way.
Yeah, to prevent over-tourism. That's a good reason.
Yeah. Do you think the dual pricing is a smart way to protect the local businesses and handle over-tourism, or it's like discrimination?
Dual pricing... Like, for example, if someone who lives in France comes to Japan, see how the ramen is expensive, they might not buy it, but...
Yeah.
They're already in Japan, so over-tourism is already happening. You know, it's not a countermeasure because they notice the dual pricing after they come to Japan.
Well, yeah, but if they know about the dual pricing, they might not go to the major places and go to more niche other places, except for the major one. And that can prevent the over-tourism.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, looking at it by specific cities, yeah, that might be a way. But, for example, if you wanted to go to Tokyo Skytree and you're from a different country, then wouldn't you go anyway, like, even if it has expensive price?
Yeah, I would, but there's this limit. So if it's too expensive, I won't go. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So would you be, like, willing to pay for triple the price of that ramen like you eat daily if you're a foreigner? Maybe one bowl of ramen was like 1,000 yen. But if you're a foreigner, you have to pay like 3,000 for it.
I might pay 3,000 yen if I was a foreigner, like if I was not living in Japan.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what ramen is. If I've never tried ramen, then out of curiosity, I think if it's 3,000 yen, I would pay it. If it was like $300 or $400, then I won't. But
yeah,
I would eat it. But since I'm Japanese, I know that how 3,000 yen is like so expensive.
Yeah, and you can do a lot of things.
Yeah, and I know what ramen tastes like, and I know there are other ramen stores that are way cheaper, so I won't. But if I didn't know that, then I would pay it.
I feel like 3,000 yen for a bowl of ramen. It's cheap when you think it's like a once in a lifetime ramen, but if you're gonna eat daily, it's really expensive.
But executing this isn't as simple as it sounds. Check out the harsh reality and backlash some people are worried about.
取れるとこから取った方がいいんじゃないっていう仕入れ価格自体が上がってきちゃってるから、それはやっぱりこう価格に転嫁しないとどうしても難しいですね。
Some support the idea due to rising prices, but some disagree.
なんかそれって騙してるようになら外国人だから高いとか日本人だから安いっていうのはそれはおかしいことだと思うんだけど、
こういうのを差をつけちゃうと今度入ってくる人も少なくなっちゃったりとかね。
外国の方にたくさん来てくれてるからね、はい、そういう方にもやっぱり恩恵を受けてるわけですから。
According to our survey, 25 out of 30 stores oppose dual pricing. Toriumi, the expert, explains the challenges of introducing dual pricing.
場合によってはこれ、ぼったくりというふうに思われてしまうという、そういった危険性というのも、はらんでおりますので、しっかりとしたルールを決めないと、利用者間で、混乱が出てしまう。
Careful arrangements are required to avoid conflict, and in reality, Japan has not made much progress yet in this area. Some cases in Japan in which differentiated pricing has been introduced include the recently opened Jonglia Okinawa theme park.
Oh, really?
Himeji Castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in western Japan, will charge residents of Himeji City 1,000 yen and others 2,500 yen for admission starting this March.
Wow.
2 years ago, officials considered charging foreign tourists about 4 times the regular admission fee to enter Himeji Castle. But the plan was shelved due to opposition over distinguishing prices based on nationality.
I think it depends on the business model. So one other point I just felt watching this video, if you have to decide if the customer is Japanese or not, it's going to take time. And then time's going to make their sales rate decrease. So they don't have time to like decide whether the person's Japanese or not. And they just want to sell things rather than like deciding making prices up or down.
How can this be different by business models?
Yeah. So if the business models, like if you need to sell a lot and you're going to sell it quick, you don't want to use the time to decide whether the person's Japanese or not. But if the business models, like you have to spend a lot of money and time inside, then you can use the time to decide whether it's the local or not. And then you can use it to put the dual pricing in your business.
Yeah, from the business side, yes, I agree. So you're saying how selling, 30 tickets and one bowl of ramen, if they take the same amount of time, then getting dual pricing and verifying the nationality for 30 tickets is way more heavier than just one bowl of ramen.
Yeah.
But from the tourist perspective, like the business model, they don't care if it's a ticket booth or a restaurant. So like, as a country, maybe we have to think about if we're going to do dual pricing, yes or no, to keep everything fair.
Yeah. If you were to go to some restaurants abroad and like see 2 different menus based on your nationality, would you feel scammed or like would you understand that dual pricing?
Yeah, well, I think it would be based, like as you said, on the business model, based on the service. If I feel like I'm making the shop use more costs, then I would agree. Like if they need a translator or if they need to explain something additionally, then yes. But if I went to the States to buy a ticket for something and I had to pay more, they might think I was scammed.
Yeah. I think I would use the money, use the internet, and use Google Translate and do it by myself.
To
make it cheaper.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about that. Like, for the first phase, we have the increasing amount of tourists. because of the social media and we know what country has what kind of good places. But like for the second phase, I think every kind of information is going to come into our smartphones. So Louvre Museum, as an example, they won't have to leave booklets with a lot of languages or have people that speak 5 or 6 languages because everything can be checked on your phone. So my opinion is that right now we may have dual pricing, but 10 years, 20 years later, we won't have any dual pricing because of technology.
I remember one restaurant I saw on TV, and it was interesting because you can order the same thing in 3 ways. The rude way, normal way, and the
polite way,
like, nice way. And then if you order some like maybe coffee, the rude way, it's like 2,000 yen. And if you order the coffee the normal way, it's 1,000 yen. And if you order the coffee nice way, it's 500 yen. We can use that way. Like you write it in English, Japanese, and all kind of languages. And like, depending on what language you order the menu, the price is already written, so you can decide from the menu. So if you can read the Japanese menu fluently, the price would be that.
Well, it's a very good idea. But that's like a way of advertising a rare concept. This goes opposite of the business model you were talking about because you need to use more time, but the cost is cheaper.
Yeah, so you're forcing the customers to practice or like prepare for calling out the menu. So it won't take you much of a time, but I think it's fair, and I think the price is transparent. You can see it, and it's also funny.
Where is that store? Is it in Japan?
Yeah, it's in Japan.
This is such a tricky balance between welcoming tourists and protecting the local people. What do you think? Would a dual pricing system change your plans to visit Japan? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into modern Japan. See you in our next video. Bye.